This is my first time in Sofia, and I certainly hope to be back. I've been very impressed by the quality and quantity of technology companies here, both early stage and late stage. I come from a market, Israel, which is similar in size to Bulgaria. We're 8 million people, just a little bit larger. And we have benefited from literally thousands of startup companies that have impacted the lives of every one of you in this tent, as well as across the globe. And I believe that that will soon come to Bulgaria as the startups impact our digitization, our productivity, personalization, and security. So I look forward to seeing how that develops locally. I'd like to spend a little bit of time telling you about what we're doing as Visa globally in the innovation space. So that was supposed to be up while I was talking. I will say you should take a look at our VR solution in the Visa booth outside the main hall. So first, a little bit about what is Visa. We are a global organization. We are moving, impacting, or touching $7.4 trillion in payments on Visa accounts. That's huge. That's larger than most economies in which we operate. We do that with 2.4 billion cards, 40 million merchants or businesses that accept payment by Visa, 16,000 banks in over 200 countries, including Bulgaria, of course, and all that on one network. That's a very interesting fintech story. So people think about Visa as a plastic card, but if you dig deeper, it's really not about a plastic card at all. It's about the digital credentials standing behind that card that identify the account holder and connect to multiple digital platforms worldwide. The plastic card, therefore, has become many other digital things. It's what enables you to make an e-commerce purchase. It's what enables you to make an m-commerce or mobile payment transaction. Contactless transactions where you don't actually have to insert or swipe your card in a terminal. It enables the Internet of Things, letting machines pay each other. And who knows what the next big thing will be. Maybe it will come from one of you in the audience. As Visa, we're opening up our innovation story across the world with innovations that we have literally opened on multiple continents, from San Francisco all the way to Dubai. We manage an innovation center in Tel Aviv, where I am based. And in these locations, you can come and experience what is happening in innovation currently and where we think things are going. We also invite clients to these spaces to co-create with us using some of the Visa assets. And in Tel Aviv specifically, we focus on the startup community to see how they can work with us and deliver new products and propositions. We've partnered with technology giants globally to deliver new innovative solutions to consumers like yourselves. That includes Apple, which has delivered Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, Google with Android Pay, and multiple other companies. We recently announced a partnership with IBM, and the list goes on and on. These global partnerships enable us to deliver local solutions much more quickly than if they were homegrown in one particular market. We've identified a number of focus areas in our innovation space. And I gotta tell you, this list, this group, is changing as we speak, because you never know what's going to impact payments and fintech next. But if we just kind of try to categorize it and think about it. So next generation issuing, the next time you want to get a Visa account, will it be a plastic card, or maybe a virtual card, or perhaps an SMS message? Next generation acceptance. If I'm a business and I want to accept payments, maybe I could do that on my tablet, as you see on the screen. Push payments, micro payments, business-to-business payments are all huge unexploited areas where we expect to see significant growth in the coming years. Internet of Things, where machines pay machines rather than people paying a business. All those are market-driven, things that the marketing people, if you will, are looking to use in order to expand transaction volumes. What about foundational categories? Things that impact everything we do, whether in the fraud space or the marketing space. So fraud and security is at the bottom and the top of everything we do. We have to make sure payments and the money is safe. Identity and authentication, we want to make sure you really are who you say you are when you're about to make a payment so that no one else is using your money. And data and intelligence, of course, cuts across every single category in which we operate. We've established a number of innovation programs. These three are highlights. So biometrics are things that enable people to be identified by a biological characteristic. So a scan of your eye, a scan of my fingerprint, perhaps the veins under my wrist. Maybe the way I walk is unique to myself. My voice print are all ways to identify me and only me. And that way, I don't need a PIN number, I don't need to sign, I don't need anything else, I can just go ahead and buy. Mobile points of sale are very interesting for very small micro businesses that want to accept payments, a plumber, a piano teacher. How can we make it easier for them to accept payment by Visa accounts? Internet of Things, similarly, is a program, and I've talked about that, machine-to-machine payments. In the Internet of Things space, we see an explosion in the wearables industry. So technology that you can wear. We announced a partnership with Swatch. You can now buy a Swatch watch, which is also branded Visa. You can see some photos of these watches on the screen. You can do. We've launched that in Brazil and in Switzerland, and we expect more to come. I also brought some wearables to show you. This ring that I'm wearing here is a ring that we call the Olympic ring. We announced it and deployed it in the Olympics in Brazil recently, and you can use it to pay by putting it near a contactless terminal. This band here is made by La Caixa. La Caixa is one of the more innovative banks based in Spain, which again, just put it near a contactless terminal and pay. We also, for you, in preparation for this event, went on the Barclays website, Barclaycard in the United Kingdom, and bought some gadgets. So this is a bracelet. Perhaps I won't wear it, but maybe my daughter will, which will enable her also to put it near a machine to pay. Or perhaps I want to use a keychain that is designed for children. This can go near the machine as well. Let's see what other weird things I have here. Another well-designed keychain for women and children. The last one I want to show you is a watch. Very interesting. You can actually buy a watch which has a Barclaycard account in it. The person wearing it can put it near a terminal and make a payment that way. So that's all in the wearable space. Another big category of the Internet of Things is the connected car. If the stage doesn't collapse, I can tell you about, if a car will be connected, the cars are now connected to the internet and to each other. We can use them to order groceries, to pay for gas, to pay for insurance, to order fast food, to pay for satellite radio, to pay for parking, or potentially to pay other cars for whatever it is you agree to do. We did a pilot with Honda in order to demonstrate some of these capabilities, and I'd like to demonstrate the app. Oops. How do we play it? Could you click the play button? So what we'll do is go to the next slide and come back to this one. So how can all of you work with us? There are technology companies in the room, lots of startups here. Oh, is this on the video? High tech. How many of you are entrepreneurs? Very nice. How many of you are from Bulgaria? Oh, big group. How many of you are from technology companies? Wow. Banks? Any banks here? Okay, very good. Maybe that's why you came to the FinTech session. How many of you never heard of blockchain? Oh, you wouldn't have done it. Here's one. Okay, so you learned something in the previous session. How many of you never heard of Visa? How many of you think we issue cards? We don't issue cards. Our banks issue cards. So what's going on? What else can we do here? How many of you ever stood on stage waiting for something to happen? Many of you, very good, very good. Happened to Steve Jobs, so we're all in good company. Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to talk through something that will take a few slides later, just to save us some time. We have a global program called Visa Everywhere. We launched Visa Everywhere across Europe about 10 days ago. And we are launching it in every region. So we did it in North America, we did it in Asia Pacific. If you go to our Visa booth outside the main hall, you can pick up one of these brochures, and it's in Bulgarian. So if you're from the group that is from Bulgaria, go ahead and take it out. Otherwise, all you need to do is go on Google and search Visa Everywhere Bulgaria. And that initiative is a global startup competition done by regions. So in the Europe region, Bulgaria is one of the qualifying countries. We have 3 categories in which you could apply to win. And I'll go through those categories when I have the slide because I don't want to mess them up. But I'll tell you the terms of the competition because we do want to encourage you to apply. So in each category we will give a prize. We will select one winner out of the 19 countries that are participating. That winner will get a 25,000 euro prize, which is nice. But more interesting is that each one of the winners, those 3, will go to the Money 2020 conference in Copenhagen together with Visa and present on the stage. And then out of those 3, we will select one winner, which will get another 25,000 euros, and a project with Visa. So that winning company, early stage as it may be, it might just be an idea, will be able to work with us and our subject matter experts and our systems to deliver your idea as a product to the market. Very good. Okay, do I need to click? Let's try again. So we're back to the Honda video. This is a joint project Visa did with Honda, just to show you a little bit about what we can do with connected cars. Okay, I don't know what is happening. I'm going backwards. Here we go. So this video doesn't actually have sound. This is the Honda car pulling up to a gas station. Inside the car there is a tablet that is connected, listening to the radio. It senses that you're near a gas station. You touch the number of the pump that you want to pay, where you want to pay. You select the amount of money with which you want to pay, confirm the amount, pre-authorize the payment, because we don't know ultimately what the application looks like, and press OK. Then you just step out of your car, put the gas pump in, and get a digital receipt at the end of the transaction. That's a real live prototype, and we have something very similar with parking. So if you remember what we were doing, we were talking about the Internet of Things, payments by machine to a machine. That was an example of that. Now let's go back to how can you guys work with us. So there's kind of 3 categories of ways of working with us. You can use our capabilities, use some of our assets, and I'll go into that a little bit more. We enter technology partnerships with multiple companies. They tend to be the large companies, the Googles, the Apples of the world, but who knows, if you have an idea, talk to us, maybe on a local level. And you can also try to work with one of our product packages, maybe credit cards, or debit cards, or prepaid cards, or perhaps commercial cards promoting business-to-business payments. To enable that, I really liked the intro that Mark gave me, because we talked about the first credit card. I think it's really interesting that Visa was not the first credit card. It's well known as Diners, but I understand there was another smaller bank even before that. But we were either the first or one of the first open source platforms before the word open source existed. We opened our system to every financial institution in the world, and almost all of them now use it. And it was a closed system outside of finance because it was risky. We moved so much money. But what we've done the last couple of years is we've taken our hundreds of legacy systems and opened them up with APIs to you. All you need to do is go on the Visa Developer Platform, developer.visa.com, and access them. You can access them in a sandbox environment, or you can actually use them to incorporate into your apps and other products that you're developing. And a very interesting approach of using Visa APIs is matching them up with other APIs. In this example, we have someone who has taken the Visa Checkout API to enable easy checkout for virtual merchants on a website, combine it with a public feed from Facebook, the Visa API for transaction alerts, so you get a message every time you perform a transaction, combine it with Google Maps, so it can be location-based, combine it with the CyberSource payment gateway owned by Visa, and Instagram. And once you put all these together, suddenly you deliver an interesting social shopping experience to your consumers. So in Tel Aviv, we focus on working with startups, as we do in some of the other innovation centers, and we've come up with programs that enable a startup, which is quite a different institution from a bank, to work with a global financial company like Visa. So one is the Visa Everywhere initiative that I started describing, and I'll describe a little bit more in the next 2 slides. Another interesting program is called Visa Ready. Visa Ready enables you to develop a product to enable a mobile merchant, a mobile business, to accept payments, and then get certified by Visa. You'll get a stamp that says Visa Ready, and it will make it much easier to sell this product, either in partnership with some of the banks, processors, and acquirers that work with us, or directly to the small businesses. A third program, which we're very glad to have launched in the last couple of years, and we are now bringing to Europe, is called Visa Ventures. We do make venture investments in early stage startups that we regard as strategic, perhaps because they will deliver incremental new volumes of transactions to Visa, because they might disrupt our space in one way or another, and we would like them to be part of our world. We were an early investor in Stripe, in Square, in LoopPay, which was bought by Samsung and became part of Samsung Pay, and many others. So we are a company that has a track record of making good investments, and we would be happy to hear from you if you think it would be a likely candidate. Back to the Visa Everywhere initiative that I started describing earlier, we talked about 3 categories. The first is a local community challenge. If you have an idea of how payments can make a local community stronger, submit your application under that category. Regional intercity challenge is quite interesting because there's a lot of discussion about smart cities in this conference. So if you have an idea of how payments can improve the transportation experience between one city and another, this would be an interesting category to apply. And the third we're calling the Global API Challenge, but it's really about travel. To get here, I flew from Tel Aviv to Warsaw, and from Warsaw to Sofia, because it was the only schedule that fit my agenda. But there were many things I needed to do on the way, some of which included making payments, and I gotta tell you, there was a lot of friction at some points. It wasn't that easy. So how can you or anyone use Visa's APIs in order to make the global travel experience easier? That's the third category. We talked about the terms of the competition, so I won't spend too much time on this slide. Just take a note that you need to make a submission by May 17th. You can take a picture of this to get the link, or you can just, again, Google Visa Everywhere Europe, and you'll get to the landing page where you can fill out the application from your phone, sitting where you are. It will take 20, 30 minutes, and you're done. Everybody done? Photos of this page? So places where we would like to collaborate with you, whether through the Visa Everywhere initiative or through another program, targeting new segments, improving the user experience, expanding acceptance where cards are not currently accepted, identifying new partnerships where we could work together, or maybe a new category that we have not thought of ourselves. Can you just pause that? It's supposed to be a slide. Hello? Okay. So, one other way that we work with startups is we introduce them. Oh, there's an entrepreneur from Tel Aviv. How are you? Oh, you should meet this guy. He has a very interesting company. We introduce startups to our clients, and our clients could be issuing banks, they could be acquirers, or they could be retailers, and do a joint proof of concept. Through that, we learn about their technology, we see how it works, and it gives both the startup and the client added value because they're probably improving the payment experience in one way or another. I invite you all to visit our booth outside the main hall, where we have 2 startups exhibiting. Both of them are doing joint projects. One doing a joint project with Visa, the other is doing a joint project with one of our retailers, which you'll see in a minute. You can also see all the wearable technology that I just showed you and try it. You can also see some of the pays, so the Google Pay, Samsung Pay, Apple Pay experience, and meet our Visa team as you do it. This video will show you the project that we did with Mobilibuy, who was outside exhibiting. They enable you to take a photo of an object and make a payment. Oh, so can you go ahead and play that, please? We just need volume. I know it's a lot to ask, but go for it. We're losing it. Can you go again? It's a joint project with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Maccabi Tel Aviv is Israel's most famous basketball team. Can you start at the beginning, please?
The reason why we partnered with Maccabi Tel Aviv and Webit.Festival is that we want to be a part of building new payment solutions and standard payment experiences.
Webit.Festival is the technology to convert any offline assets like billboards into engagement points and virtual point of sale. I see it, I want it, I scan it, done, buy.
Scanify is just simple for fans. They come in, they scan our logo, they scan our cutout, and they purchase what they want.
We're starting like Webit.Festival to be exposed on a global scale to Visa partners, to Visa customers, and to Visa assets. It's huge.
They've done projects with Chelsea and introduced us to them, with hardware contract with the Brooklyn Nets, and with us, with Maccabi Tel Aviv. Stadiums are the perfect lab. It's easy to bring partners together, better control the environment, and then try things fast. Through these startups, which move quickly, you can also develop new relationships with stakeholders that are valuable to Visa.
So thank you very much.